Uh, Hi, we are going to discuss about Java records concept. This record thing was introduced as part of JDK 14. Initially, JDK 14 introduced this records concept, and later in 16 it was finalized. You can see the Java version 14 introduced a records concept, and Java version 16 finalized this usage of records. So what are these? These are actually used to create data carrier classes with minimal boilerplate. They replace the traditional verbose POJO plain bold Java object. I'll explain you. We all know that POJO or plain old Java object generally created for particular attributes, right? And when we create them, we will create a setters and getters, and we will create a toString. We will override the toString method equals hash code methods. These are common, right? Whenever you want to create a particular POJO, you will do like this. So you public final class user. You see, before records was introduced, how do we handle the code? We will handle the code in this way. You can see, suppose I want to create a user class, so I'm going to mark it as a final and public final class user, and the private final string name, private final int age, and the constructor, you can see we are setting the values, and we have a getters. We have a over equals method overridden, and hash code method overridden, toString method overridden. Okay, but the modern way, how do we handle the same thing? You don't need to write all those boilerplate code. It is actually simplified. You can see with a single line of code you are representing the POJO, the plain old object, Java object. You can see public record just user, and what are the parameters that you require? You require a name, string name, and int, and empty braces. So internally it will create all these getters, setters, constructors, everything will be handled by default. You can see there. And if you want to add some logic also, you can add validation. You can see here, I want to check the age. Whenever the age is less than 0, I want to throw some illegal argument exception. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a public user, and inside again that block, if age less than 0, throw new illegal argument exception. Age cannot be negative. You see, that way we can actually create records. But the key difference is the accessors. In the class you use get name, in a record you use just name. You see what is the difference here? In a record you will use just a name, okay, but if you go for POJO, you have to maintain as a get name. But in here, if you want to get a name, right, method name will be, you see, just name, open and closing bracket. And records are implicitly final. Their fields are private final, making them immutable by design. So these are final by default, okay. But in the actual class, you can have a final attributes, or you can have a default or a public attributes. But here they are private final. You can see validation. You can still add a validation logic using compact constructor. I explained you. You can see compact constructor. How we are doing it? Public user. It is a compact constructor, and inside that we are actually specifying some validation logic. Okay, comparing age actually. And restrictions are the records cannot extend other classes because they already extend java.lang.record class. Okay, you just go inside java.lang.record class. You can see record classes. They will extend these classes. You can see by default these classes are there. This is a single line. How you are specifying double length, record rectangular, double length, and a double width. But if you want to do that using a normal plain Java, you need to do all these things. Okay, so that is how you can actually use. So you see, as record class is just a special kind of classes, you create a record object, a instance of the record class with a new keyword, for example. So it will create an object for you, and you can also access these attributes. Let's say you are passing 4,5. I want to get those values. How you are getting r.length. So in the previous example, if you want to get it, you want to r dot get length, you need to call r dot get length, object dot get length. But here we are just calling r dot get length, r dot length, and width is r dot width. Output is 4.0 and 5.0. You can see here. Canonical constructor of the record classes. You can see how you are using the compact constructor style. You can see the object here, and inside the constructor we are writing so much validation. You can see we are writing a validation here. This is so we can also write like this compact constructor. This way you can actually write it. Okay, these are the record classes. I told you explicit declaration of record class members. See explicit, you can explicitly declare any members of derived from header such as public accessor methods that correspond to record class components. You can see accessor method, there is no public here. Public accessor method, we created a public accessor method inside the record. You can see you can declare it. It is also possible using a record class member. Okay, and you see we have declared a static field here inside the record class, and static block is the static initializer. Okay, and static method is also there. We can also declare static methods. So here one thing is you cannot declare instance variable, non-static fields are instance initializing record. For example, in the following, see, field declaration must be static. Here what they are telling, you cannot declare instance variable. It must be static, otherwise it won't work, because instance initializers are not allowed in records. Instance initializers, so you got it right. So there should be static. Okay, you can declare instance methods in record class independent whether you are instance methods. You can declare, you can see here, this is instance method, this is also pure public instance method, nested record. Okay, record class is implicitly final, so you cannot explicitly extend record class because it is implicit marked with the final. If anything is marked with the final, you cannot override, you cannot extend. Okay, there are problems, right? They are as per the Java rules. However, beyond these restrictions, record classes behave like normal classes. You can create a generic record class. For example, we are creating, you can declare our record class is extending coordinate class, another class. Okay, and you can declare record class that implements one or more interfaces. Record also can implement one or more interfaces. It can extend some other classes. Okay, you cannot extend a record class, but a record class is extending other classes. It is implementing other interfaces. You see here. Okay, you cannot annotate record class with its individual component. You cannot annotate. It is not possible. The record class. Okay, so there are so many features with the record classes and field classes, interfaces, local record classes. You can actually see how you are using string merchant. It is taking string name and string sale, merchant, local date, double values. You can see all these values are there, and local record class. And inside the class we are going to declare merchant sales. It is called local record class. They are global. Okay, so you can declare globally and locally. It's not a problem. Record classes you can declare it. And you can see in public static void main we are going to instantiate with a new operator. And okay, they're all there. Okay, static members of inner class. What is this? Prior to Java 16, you could not declare explicitly static members inner class unless the member is constant variable. This means that inner class cannot declare a record class record class member, record nested record class, or implicit static. So inner class may declare members that are either explicit, implicit, static. So inner classes, as part of the Java 16, you can declare inner class members either explicitly or implicitly static. Okay. So inner class members implicitly static, you can see constancy, implicitly static, right? So record serialization, you can serialize and deserialize instances of the record classes, but you cannot customize the process by providing write object, read object. So you can also serialize these things here using record classes. It is possible, but problem is you cannot customize the process by providing the write object, read object, no data, write external. These components of the record class govern serialization, while canonical constructor of the record class governs deserialization. Okay, API is related to record classes. The abstract class java.lang.record is the common superclass for all record classes. Okay, so you might get compiler error if your source file imports the class named record from a package other than java.lang. Okay, you need to import it with java.lang. The source file automatically imports all types of java.lang package. So the java.lang record class also will be imported regardless of whether PUI features are enabled or disabled. It will be here. I have not imported anything. By default it will be imported record class. Okay. The following imports there is a class. The following we are going to import it. You see, wildcard but does not compile. What is this? Imports record with a wildcard but does not compile. The compile generated the error similar to the following. Both record my package. Okay. So here we created a record class and we are trying to import that. Then it is throwing an exception. You see, it is not possible. The reason is both record in Comrade package and record in java.lang package are imported with wildcard. Consequently, neither class takes precedence. The compiler generates an error. Ambiguity will occur, as I told you, right? Java.lang package also is having a record class. Get it right? That is why it will throw an error. So to enable this example to compile, change the import statement so that it imports fully qualified name of the record. You can see you need to specify the fully qualified record. Generally these are common whenever the conflicts ambiguity occurs, right? With the same name, we need to import the thing with the fully qualified path of the particular object. Otherwise it will be an issue. The class java.lang class has two methods related to record class. Get record components is one method. It will returns array of record component objects. Other thing is boolean is record similar to is and except that it returns true if a class was declared as a record class. So this is about the record data type, record classes. You can actually these are the record classes. They are replacement, substitution or alternate for the POJOs, plain object POJOs. And I am telling you, these record classes was introduced in Java 14, version Java 14, and they are supported and extended with Java 16 version. Thank you for listening.